documentaries just to like, I don't know what that shit really is about. Let me find out.
Yeah.
So it's based on the FBI director. I think his name was James Comey or something like that. That he basically was the one that he was the FBI director. A little bit before the election, he found out that supposedly Hillary had emails and all that shit, that whole email thing, but then she deleted them. But what really broke the story was when Andy Weiner got caught cheating, right?
The dick pic.
Yeah, so when that happened,
his wife was working for Hillary.
They investigated Hillary. She deleted everything, so they couldn't find really anything, like anything crazy. But then when he got caught, it changed everything around because he had thousands of a lot of emails with her.
Yeah.
That he was emailing her. So that is basically what kind of made her look bad, because then they started investigating his emails.
Oh, damn.
So when they found out about him, it was maybe like 2 weeks before election. So the FBI director didn't know. He goes, we're not going to be able to go to the full investigation till after the election.
Yeah.
What happens if we find something on her that's bad after we choose her as president? What the fuck do you do? So they didn't know what to do. And then during that time, months before, they had information that supposedly one of Trump's people, this is before Trump was even like elected to president. Remember, he was still battling.
Yeah.
That one of his peoples was talking to someone in Russia.
Okay.
So as they found that out, they're finding this out. So he's like, how can we investigate her but not investigate him? So they weren't too sure how to go about it. But when the Wiener thing fucked up, that they really had to get into it because they found a whole bunch of emails.
Yeah.
So that's what basically kind of like lost it, right? Because a lot of people were saying she needs to turn in her emails and all that shit. And then it shows also, it's on Showtime. It shows the Russian guys who were like, yo, we're going to do this on Facebook. This is what we're going to do. And they created a thing called, I think, Pizzagate against Hillary or something like that. They created that she had AIDS. All this negative stuff that they did to the just being good computer guys that they did to make it, influence the people to vote for Trump.
Yeah.
So they did all that, and then plus that, and then so supposedly during that whole time, they were investigating the whole Russia shit. And there was one of the guys that worked for Trump who was saying, yeah, I talked to them, but it was during Christmas. I just asked them how was Christmas. We didn't talk about anything. But then FBI was already investigating, so they knew that they knew the real thing. So then the first episode's a little political. It's similar to that Netflix show. The politic one.
House of Cards.
House of Cards. The first episode's kind of House of Cards. It's very fast. It's very political. You're like, Jeff Daniels is the main guy. He's the one that plays the guy. What's his name? Comey. But then the second episode gets good because that's when you introduce the bad guy.
Okay.
They have a guy who's like Trump.
Yeah.
So they have a Trump, and he's very good at acting like Trump. So basically, Trump wins, and basically one lady is investigating Russia, but Trump's like, yo, you guys seem like you're investigating me. They're like, no, we're investigating the whole truth about Russia. Like, our FBI, we're supposed to be neutral.
Yeah.
We need to know the truth. So he started firing people. So I don't know if you guys noticed when Trump first came in, he was firing people left and right.
Yeah.
So that's what it was. So he fired Comey. He fired a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
And Comey, every time he met with him, he wrote all this stuff.
Gotcha.
So Trump will invite him, and one Moreno, like I guess in the show, and I guess it's based kind of on true things. He told him that, like, yo, Trump, he could fight. He's not good against a one person fighter.
Yeah.
He's good against like fighting. Like, he could fight. Like, if everybody hates him, he's good with that. It doesn't bother him. But it's one person that gets under his skin. He'll continue pressing it. So they were saying that supposedly Donald Trump, when he went to Russia, he got these two prostitutes, and that he stood in the hotel where Obama was at, and that he made sure that he had a golden shower, that the girls peed on the bed where Obama was at, and Michelle, just because, you know, like, it bothers him.
Yeah.
You know? So that supposedly that was the whole thing. So during this whole investigation, Trump will invite that guy, and he'll be like, yo, you know, I was only in Russia for only a few hours. I left. I wouldn't stay. I'm a germaphobe.
Yeah.
And all this stuff. And, like, the way they portray Trump, and then when the guy, he goes, you see how beautiful the Oval is now? I'm good at interior designing. Like, he's the best at everything. So then when the guy came in, he's been working for the FBI for a long time. He's like, yeah, he goes, you got the same curtains Clinton does. That shit was bothering him. The next time he met with him, he goes, these are not the ones that Clinton got. Like, he goes, so he kept testing. Trump was telling that guy, I need your loyalty.
Yeah.
He kept telling him, the one thing, if you're going to work for me, if you want to stay on at FBI, I need your loyalty.
Gotcha.
So the guy wrote all this shit down. Eventually, Trump fired him. Because the guy was like, I'm just trying to get the truth.
Yeah.
So Trump fired his boss, then fired him, and he pretty much... There's another guy who comes... He's also in the show, and you know that he's from that computer game show we used to watch on AMC.
The Holt?
Yeah, the main guy that he called Cancer.
The one with the mustache, or the younger?
The one with the mustache, the one that was a real computer.
Yeah.
So he's
in Narcos.
Yeah, he's in it too. So he's
okay.
like, so if you guys want to know, it's like I said, it's not that. It's only.
What's the name of it?
It's called Comey. That's the guy's last name. The FBI director.
Oh, okay.
It's only two. From what I know, I think it's a docuseries. They're hour and a half each.
Okay.
But it's only two, episode 1, episode 2.
Gotcha.
But it's like interesting because I was telling Jesus' girl, I don't know about that stuff. I just know, like, they say Russians and I don't pay attention.
Yeah.
But they talk about, like, the 2 Russians that got caught, the guys that
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I've been watching that. I've been watching The Boys, which has been good. Another show on Prime, which is pretty good. It's called Utopia. It's based on a comic book. I think you and Baron will like it. It's based on a comic book / kind of Comic-Con.
Okay.
It's based on like a group of friends who are really into a comic book. And because they don't know each other, they're just like from a group chat. They're like, yo, we're going to meet in the Comic-Con. We're going to meet at a certain place. They don't know how they look, but they're just really into this comic book.
Gotcha.
That it seems that basically they're gonna sell the comic book either last episode or an episode that was never founded.
Yeah.
No, the original episode.
Okay.
So they're going out to like a Vegas to go out there to meet up, and then a lot of shit goes crazy. So it has to do a little bit with fiction and
how many
fact.
seasons is this?
Just started.
Oh, okay.
It's on Prime. It's just a first season, but I watched 4 or 5 episodes. They're all pretty solid. It's interesting, and it's like it's getting better. At first, I was like, "Oh, it's a comic book," but then you're like, "Oh shit, they twisted this way."
Gotcha.
The only person that I know there is John Cusack. He's like one of the main guys. He's like a Bill Gates, because it also has to do with. The comic book also has to do with kind of like COVID.
Gotcha.
It has to do with diseases that have been passed on within the comic book, but then it's also happening in real life.
Oh, okay.
So I'm watching that, and then just pretty much The Boys, and then I know the one show that we both watch is Power.
Yeah, I don't get too much into Power.
I like the last episode. I think it's getting better each episode for me.
For me, it's more of that Mary J. Blige family.
The one thing I could say, and I was watching with my girl, that it seems like it's like a novela.
It's a novela for younger crowd. Cause now
No. Even with the like the last episode with the professors.
Oh.
Like it just got
the sex nympho.
Yeah, it just got to like a novela. I'm like, why? Like why did it go this way? And then Tariq had like the fucking awesomest day. Like, yo.
He made up with this one and
that one. It was like, yo, I'm like, they're turning it too much into kind of like a novela. Like, they're putting too much in this into that.
For me, right now, my favorite character is his homeboy from school, the white dude who's trying to always get money.
Yeah.
And he beat up that dude in the frat party. Mm-hmm. He's fucking fun. And then, like I said, the Mary J. fam. Damn.
Whoa! Shit! Oh my god!
Oh, that was nice.
That was insane. Guys, we're watching the Jets game, and I don't know how the fuck. I laugh if there's a yellow flag.
But yeah, the fucking Method Man character still flies over my head.
But even him, the sex scene with the lady, I'm like, it became too much a novela.
Yeah, it was. I'm watching that. There's really nothing else I've been watching, but I watched a documentary on Netflix called the Challenger, the Final Flight.
How many episodes is that?
4.
Yeah.
And I think I remember that clearly is because back in 1986 when this happened, I think I was in 3rd grade and I was in PS28, and then remember one episode we were talking about that they bring out the rolling TV.
Yeah.
So I remember going to the auditorium and they made all of us watch it.
That was like for people who are younger than us. That was like our. I'm not even gonna compare it, man, but kind of like a 9/11 moment. I'm not gonna compare the two big different.
Yeah.
But as a young kid, seeing something crazy like holy shit.
Because at the time
like
I didn't know
on TV.
I didn't know if it was like
real or fake.
Exactly, until I saw teachers in my auditorium like holding their breath or crying. I'm like, what happened?
I was 9 years old, so you were like 8.
Yeah, I was around the same age. And the whole purpose about it is because one of the astronauts was a fucking teacher who was going to teach us about science in outer space. So all the science teachers were hyped about this in my school. Like, that's why they filled up our auditorium and this and that. And I was like, you know what? Let me watch this. And then while you're watching it, it gives you backstories of
each of the people.
Of the people, because it was 7 of them. But it gives you that you're not... NASA knew that spaceship was not safe.
Oh, fuck.
So, because United States wanted so many launches to be on time, they kept doing shortcuts to what will help the spaceships. And that, we didn't want to look bad because we were United States and this and that.
Fucking
so because of that fuck. So it gives you the year happened, but 5 years behind, like a backtrack of how they selected these astronauts to be this and that, and what they were doing to the ships. So I was like, oh shit, this is like new to me. And then it shows you like every other launch that happened after that and how they investigated. So it was 4 episodes.
I gotta watch it. I gotta watch it.
Like 40 minutes each. It was a good watch. I watched it all in one day. But other than me watching any new shows on Netflix, I haven't.
You were watching Sneakerhead. Did you finish that?
Oh, Sneakerhead, I'm done with it. That's fucking awesome.
I watched the
show.
first 2 or 3, and then I gave up.
It's fun. No,
but I gotta watch it again.
It's fun.
I gotta continue watching.
It's the cousin from Tracy Morgan's show.
Yeah, the last OG.
That last OG, and then you got another comedian in it. I might be mistaking him, but I think he goes by the name of King Botch or something on Instagram. But it's about, like, if you like sneakers, this is the show you watch because it shows you, like, different... why you like sneakers and why you want to flip them or why you want to keep them, what a sneaker meant to you when it first came out. Okay. It's only 6 episodes, half hour each.
Oh, so I'll watch
you run through it.
Yeah.
But it's hilarious because there's an episode that... I can't fuck it up for you, but they meet like a Mark Wahlberg. Yo.
Or like a celebrity or something?
Yeah, but it's a guy named Mark L. Wahlberg plays Mark Wahlberg. And they're trying to be, but that's Mark Wahlberg. And then there's an episode called Jason fucking Statham, the karate dude.
Yeah.
And there's a whole episode like, but why he's your friend? And this... 6 episodes. Watch it. It goes quick. They talk about sneakers like Jordan.
Yeah, I watched I think the first 2. I liked it, but for me it seemed kind of fakeish. Cause like he looked like he didn't know really about sneakers.
Which one?